Hey, it's Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review inside a 2019 Fiat 500X. So the 500X is made in Italy because it's Fiat, but it's also made, interestingly enough, on the same production line and with many of the same components as the Jeep Renegade, so the little bitty Jeep. So this little Fiat, this is a, it's still a 500, but it's not the same as the other 500s. That's what I'm trying to say. Nice little four-door compact crossover. Well done. I really like it. I also really like the fact that Fiat went with the Chrysler style Uconnect instead of that weird like Alfa Romeo and stuff that they use, which is a little more clunky to use for infotainment. But let's start looking at this interior. So you have some Fiat touches. So you have the little 500 touches, lots of roundness going on. You have the round headlights, the round covers here, rounded door handles. That's a Fiat thing. It's kind of their, I don't know. Is it aircraft? Probably. Anyway, down here you have door locks. There's windows there. You can see the window lock right there. This is the side mirror adjustment. Over here you have headlamps, and then you have two different ones. So if you remember, if you've seen reviews that I've done of Jeeps, things like that, you'll see this as well. So you have all the lighting and separate dimmers. So interior, so here's the lighting, and then here's the gauges and so on. And then good dead pedal, by the way. One of the few things that in Fiat that I would say is some of the best in the business right there is just the fact that it feels natural to be sitting in this car and to have your foot right there. So kind of a kudos there. Makes the car sportier than it would be otherwise. Seems like a dumb thing, really, but it's not. Once you're sitting in the car and you're actually driving it, it feels sporty. Because of that, that's a big component. It doesn't have anything to do with, the engine's turbocharged and stuff, but it's not that powerful. So this isn't a fast car, but it feels good. I like that. So looking at the steering wheel over here you have your driver information screen stuff, so that controls what's going on up there. Telematics, so pick up and hang up the phone. Voice control here, which you can use in this. I've used it a few times, but honestly, I kind of like the touchscreen because it's really intuitive. So that's what I've been doing. Over here you have cruise control. Now, something to point out. Right here, this is true of almost every Fiat Chrysler product. Right here, this is regular cruise control. You turn this on, you can set, reset, cancel, etc., but you do not have the adaptive components. So you do not have that keeps a following distance kind of and all of that. That you do by turning this on, which you have to do separately from that. So you can just turn this or just turn this. You can't do them both. And then this sets your distance for that. On the back of the steering wheel, on one side, this being the right side, this is the channel or the volume, right? So there you go. Hear that? So this side's the volume, and over back here on the back of this side, that changes channels or skips tracks depending on what you're doing. And then we'll just look at the stocks really quick. So here's the signal turns, and then also your brights back and forth, and you use this button right here for lane keep assist, or lane keeping. So this will lane keep alerts, all that good stuff. Over here is your Whopper, Burger King commercial. No, this is your washer wiper controls. So you twist this for the wipers, you twist this one for the back wiper, and then pushing it forward like that runs the back washers, pulling it towards you runs the front washers. Now, in the bezels, it's already getting hot. It's not even that hot. Jeez. All right, so looking at the instrument cluster, gauges. That's what I should have said, not bezels. Bezels are these things surrounding them. Over here, you got your miles per hour. Pretty good, actually. I like this readout. It's you notice things are reversed, kind of Euro style. I like this readout a lot. I of course like digital speedometer the most, but I really like this readout because it's just so quick and intuitive to read. Over here is a tachometer, of course. And then, by the way, when you buy the European version, this will have the Canuck miles per hour instead of US miles per hour. And by the layout, but you can clearly tell that this is meant to be on that side of the car. Because, you know, but whatever. And then in the middle, this is your driver information screen. Over here is fuel. Over here is the water temperature. And then in the middle, that driver info screen. I mean, most of it's pretty straightforward. So here's trip distance and stuff. I put 243 miles on the car. Here's some drive mode selections. You can do that right there, or I'll show you in a minute where you can do it on a hard dial really quickly. Battery voltage, and a few other things. So just you can quickly see kind of what's available as far as the up and down through these menus. Some of those menus have sub-menus where you go back and forth. Pretty cool. Here's the outside temperature. It's already getting pretty hot. This tells you the engine's running. Here's your gearing. So if I go into drive, it'll look like that. If I go into manual, it'll tell you what gear it's manually in. So that's kind of how that works. Then, let me think. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. Going this way, down, hiding over there, that's your engine start button. So that's how you start the car. And then the infotainment. So really like this. The screen seems really small probably. When you first look at it, it looks small, but once you start using it, you realize it's exactly the right size for this car. This is a small car. You don't need a giant screen. Up here's the mute button. That's what I just pressed to mute this after I showed you the volume control. Here's the volume button, and then also you just use this to turn it on and off. Over here is your, you can use this to scroll through. You can also use it to browse menu items when you're in the menus. And then up here is daytime and nighttime screen shut off. So you can shut it off like that, and then you can just do that, or you can shut it off and turn it back on just like that. Pretty cool. I like this setup. Going into the menus, what you'll probably use the most besides music is the settings right here. And you can go through and see what you can set and how you set it. Pretty straightforward, not a lot of complicated anything going on right there, but nicely done. I like this, and it's easy to use. So here's your phone settings right here. Here's the Uconnect apps. So if you want to see the full menus, you'll go right there. Just nicely done. I really like this setup. It's well thought out. Over here's traction control, Duke's lights, and your engine stop start. You can toggle it off if you don't want it to turn on and off on its own. You can do that. Down here's first of the vents. Okay, chief beef about this car are the vents. I wish they were larger and or pushed more air, because it takes a long time for such a small car, it takes a long time for this to cool itself down. It's because it's an open cabin, right? It's a crossover style cabin. So all you have are these 4 vents. There's that one over there. There's one just like it over there, and these 2. That's all that's moving air in this car, and it really just needs more. That's all there is to it. Down here you have climate control. So you can see I've turned them off. I use this button here. You can turn them on auto. You just turn it on, and up there you see the auto button. You can push that. You can turn the auto on and off. Set temperatures. It's dual zone. You turn it off with that. Over here, this is the max defrost. So most of the time in the morning you come out and there's frost, you probably just hit that. Over here's this is the back window defrost. Then you have fan control and a few other things, recirc and so on. I like the round buttons, and I like how quickly it is, how quickly you get used to using this, because it's just a good layout. Down here is seat heaters. Here's your parking. So if you want to turn off the parking radar, you use that, and some USBs. So you can see this is the data plug. Let me see if I can get to it. Data plug, regular USB, just for charging and whatnot. And so the USB there is in a battery, if you can't see that clearly. And then this is the aux button, or aux port. And then down here is where they kind of want you to throw your phone. It's a good spot for it. There's a 12-volt plug down in there, if I can get it to pop open. And it's a good spot for your phone. It's most of the time where I've been dropping mine. I like it. It's good and deep too, by the way. Here's your gear shifter. Pretty straightforward. Up and down like here. When you're in drive, you go like this to go into manual. Egg control gearing. Here is the drive mode selector. So you can see the drive modes. This is basically sport. It kind of looks like track, but it's really just sport. This is all weather, and this is everything else. Most of the time you just leave it there, but you can turn the dial and change the setting just like that. Really easy. Oops. Really easy. I like it. drink holders right here, nicely done with these little bubbles that are pretty common throughout the FCA lineup. I like these because they don't grip too much, but they grip enough, and they don't get in the way. Over here is your parking brake. Pull it up to set it, push it down to turn it off. Pretty straight. Right here, center bin, good sized, but there are no USB ports in there. I'll just point that out. I do like that this slides back and forth. Feels good. I like this. The seating is great in this. It's really, really good. See, the bolstering is just right, but it's not so fat that it's jabbing you all the time or grabbing you, pinching your ribs. It just feels really good. Even a big guy like me, I feel good in this car, and I just like the look because it's pretty signature Fiat. So this is the exterior color brought inside, and you can see coming across, and then they've got this extra glove box that's actually useful. It's not just there for grins, it actually is big enough to hold stuff. And then you got your American style glove box down here, and just nicely laid out. I just like the feel and the look of this cabin. It's really pretty with the browns and the blacks. And the red popping. Just looks really good. And then the back seats are a good size. So good size for kids. I got 3 across in there. It was a little bit of a pinch because they're 8, 9, and 10, but still a good size back seat. And then lots of cargo. Here's the cargo here. Oh, cargo. Just really like the layout of this car. It's just built well. There are a few things that I wish they would fix, namely the climate controls, or the climate itself, the air movement, and it feels sporty on the road, but it's not necessarily sporty. And I was not able to get the EPA's estimates for fuel economy on the highway. Easily got the around town mileage, but it was a little low on the highway economy, and I don't know why. Because it might have been speed, but I doubt it. It just didn't happen. So here's my numbers down here. And the Monroney for this, I'll just show you that really quick. So this is about as high end as this gets. I don't think there's much you can add to this to make that price go higher. So this is the top end of the spectrum, just FYI. So there you go. That's the 2019 Fiat 500X. This has been Aaron, AaronOnAutos.com. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.